Been a while since you've seen me. I had to pull myself out of my grave. The thing is, this time I threw myself in and it wasn't done by my friends. Now I know you're wondering why. Why would I do that? Simple thing is I wanted to share with you the practices that I call the path of power. But before I could do that, I had to see where you were now, which meant stopping doing every single thing that I do to rule the three kingdoms, keep my mind, body in coherence, and align spiritually throughout all realms. Why? I'd completely forgotten what it was like. I had no idea what slave life is like because it's been so long since I did it. So I stopped everything. The intention was, I'll do it for a month. That should give me plenty of data. But that's not how it went because we're now 3 months later. And this completely changed my perspective on where slaves are and why their lives are just so bad. It's all about energy. That's what it is. And after stopping, my life became a living hell. It was so terrible. I can't even begin to express what it felt like. It was like something, like instead of a flower blooming, imagine it folds in on itself and just stays in its pod because it thinks it's worse out there than it is in here. So it's totally constricted. I had tension patterns coming all across my body. I felt disconnected from my heart. I could no longer hear the silence. All there was just noise. My creativity, gone. I was tired all of the time and I was having bad sleep as well. So it was just going from bad to worse. I was lying around and just for example, I remember this was a day when I thought, what the hell are you doing? I got out of bed, straight on the phone, checking my email, this, that, and the other. Then I was on the net, then I was watching TV, and then I was playing a game, and the entire day just went by in front of screens, eating, screens, eating, screens, eating. And I realized it was because my anxiety was through the roof. Now, one of the best things when it comes to the practices on the path of power is that it makes your energy sink down to the earth, and then the earth bounces it back up again. And this is actually the natural state that children are in. For example, you've noticed that when children get frustrated or they get angry, they stamp their feet as a way of venting their frustration. Yeah? Now, the reason why they do that is because it discharges energy from the spine, which goes down the channels in the back of the legs, out of the heels. Nobody has to teach them that. They're already equipped knowing that. There's so much that we're already knowing that comes with us as standard equipment. That's why the way the slave lives is it's like a callus, really. It's like a hard skin, a hard surface, because the underneath is just too soft for this world. Now, one of the worst things that happened was I would start getting all these impingements, like my shoulder would hurt or my leg would hurt. And I'd never had these before, but I know what they are. This is because your body is your subconscious mind. This is your conscious mind. And when you're living as a slave, you are disconnected from the brain in your abdomen and the one in your chest. You rely purely on this one. And even on this one, you only rely on half of it. You're using a tiny little segment of it because the body can process 40,000 bits of information per second. And this does around about 40. So that's why it's nowhere near as powerful. It's nowhere near as fun. It's a very weak state of being. Now, I had looked at it, and what happened was I woke up one day and suddenly my back went. And I'd never, ever had back pain, ever. It was the first time I'd had it. Now, I know from my near-death experience that our soul's energy comes in at the base of our spine, like pretty much on the opposite side of where your belly button is. And what was happening was because my body was cramping down due to all the tension, because it tenses down when it can't express it. And then this anger and these unexpressed emotions and everything else that was causing my anxiety, because it pulled all my energy up into my head. So I was living purely here. And the only time I had any peace was either when I was eating or when I was mindlessly entertaining myself on a screen, because both of them distract you from the moment. So I'm feeling like super weak, numb, disconnected. I got this back pain, and that was it. I couldn't think of a way. I thought, this is now 3 months into it. And I thought, well, how the hell am I going to fix this now? I had no idea it would be so difficult to actually put it together. Put it this way, if my friends had turned up again to try and do me in during that period of like during them 3 months, I would have thanked them just for the release to get out of earth. That's how bad it feels. And I get it now. I know exactly what they mean when they say that the flesh is willing but the spirit is weak. Spirit actually means how well your energy is flowing around your body, right? So what I did was I did a very extreme 3-day dopamine detox. That meant I was eating like this much plain protein a day. No TV, no computers, no internet, no talking to people, nothing, right? No music, no fragrance products, absolutely zero stimulation at all. And all I did was just sit there and breathe. Me, my own awareness, and brought myself back into my body, restarted my practices. And if previously when you saw me I was 100%, now I'm around about 10%. But even that 10%, and this is, I now know exactly the first exercise to share with you, and that is the one to get all your meridians and body points activated, because it removes the blockages. You've got to think of it like this way. Imagine if your body is like a motorway, right? And when you do the Path of Power practices, it becomes an autobahn. So everything is going at top speed because there are no blockages, yeah? And when you're living like a slave, when you don't know how to manage your own internal and external energies, then it's like there's a traffic jam and that's it. Nobody is going anywhere because it's gridlocked. And that's why you need caffeine. I even tried caffeine. I've been off caffeine for so long. That was one of the things I used to kickstart to get me back in again. And I don't do caffeine because the thing with caffeine is you're borrowing tomorrow's energy. So you're already in debt. Right? It's a very hard and addictive substance to kick, but that's the reason why they push it on every single corner, because it disrupts your sleep and it's very addictive. It's good for business. It throws sugar in there. Sugar is also another poison that your body does not want inside it. And this got me to where I am now. Right now, if you told me 5 days ago that I'd be making this video, I wouldn't have believed you. I really wanted to. I wanted to sort myself out and get back on it because I couldn't believe how bad it was. But the great thing about it is I learned a lot during that time, things that I can apply now, and it ultimately all comes down to your inner child. That's all it's about, right? It's like inside you, there is a kid, and you can take your non-dominant hand, take a pen, and start writing with it, and you'll notice that it writes exactly like that child. That is the child's voice, right? That child has always been you. It's me. That's who saved my life. That's who's going to save your life. I'm going to teach you how to connect to it. And now this is just the first step of me announcing that I'm back, because I actually feel so much better now that I've recorded this. You know what I mean? So thank you. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for bearing with me. Till we meet again.